Today is August, I believe it's the 13th or the 14th. Okay, so hello, my name is Wyzetta and I am a coke addict. Okay, I will explain why I am a coke addict, or how I found out I was a coke addict, or realized I was a coke addict. And when I speak of coke, I speak of Coca-Cola. Okay, and I usually get the can. Very, very, very rarely do I buy Coke in a bottle. When I went to go buy a Coke today, they did not have it in a can. They only had it in a bottle, and that's why I have a bottle. But it's two different things that I want to talk to you about today. One is Coke and sugar drinks in general, and then the other is a documentary by HBO called Weight of the Nation. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely see it. Okay, so first thing first with Coke. How I realized I was a coke addict. Back in 2008, I lived in Houston, Texas, and I was living by myself. And this was a regular weekday, and I had got up to go ship some stuff at the post office. And when I left the post office, I went to the grocery store. When I went to the grocery store, I bought a 24-pack of Coke in a can. Okay, I went home. When I first bought it, I put it in the freezer because I wanted to get cold as fast as possible. I don't like ice. I prefer not to drink anything over ice. If I can just have it cold, I would prefer it cold. Even if I have to wait for it to get cold, I would just prefer it cold rather than on ice. And creamy things on ice, like orange juice, milk, iced coffee, freaks me out, makes my skin crawl. I don't know why, it just does. Okay, so I put the Coke in the refrigerator, in the freezer, and let it get cold. And this was probably, I had probably made it home at like 2 in the afternoon. And after they got cold, you know, I was just drinking them. I'm talking about from maybe, let's say 3, 4, all the way to the next day. So this is the very next day, and this is afternoon again, and I go into the refrigerator to grab a Coke, and the box is empty. This is like a 24-hour span. But this is how I know I'm a crack addict, or a coke addict, I'm sorry. As soon as I realized that it was empty, I didn't think that, oh shit, I drank all these Cokes. I thought, oh shit, somebody done broke in. My mind instantly went to somebody done broke in, drunk my Cokes. That's what my mind went to. And I was so serious with the thought that somebody had broke in that I ran around the corner from my kitchen to my dining area, because my dining area was set up as my office, so that's where my computer and my printer and all of that was, to see if these people had stole my computer. You know, because I'm thinking somebody, in my mind, Coke was that valuable, that's something they would take in a robbery. You know what I mean? I hadn't even left the house. I had been home all that, you know, all that afternoon, that night, into the next morning. But in my mind, Coke was that valuable that, you know, they would come in, snatch a computer, and grab some Cokes. That's when I realized that I was a Coke addict. That is the last time, the very last time that I have ever bought a 6-pack, 24-pack, whatever, of Coke. If I drink Coke, especially here in New York or even back in Texas, if I drink Coke, I buy it single. One can at a time. And yeah, it's much more expensive because I'm paying $6 for a 6-pack when they're, you know, $1.99 in the store. But so what? You know, if I buy 6, I'm gonna drink 6 in a day. You know, I had drunk 24 cans of Coke within a 24-hour span. That's when I realized I was a Coke addict. Okay? And believe it or not, Coke and any other sugary drinks is the absolute only food or non-food that is directly connected to overweight, obesity, and morbid obesity. The only thing. Not Twinkies, not hot Cheetos, not fried chicken, not hamburgers and fries, not pizza. Coke. Coke and other sugary drinks, let's just say sugary drinks in general, is the only thing directly connected to overweight, obesity, and morbid obesity. And I am morbidly obese, for those of you that didn't know. You should know the difference between morbidly obese and obese, just the same as you should know the difference between HIV and AIDS. And what point do you go from not from being morbidly obese? I mean, what point do you go from being obese to being morbidly obese? Just the same as you should know at what point a person goes from being HIV positive to having AIDS. Okay, if you don't know it, Google it. That's some information you should know. Okay, so one thing about soda in general versus other sugary drinks, soda has absolutely, positively no nutritional value. Twinkie got nutritional value. Fried chicken got nutritional value. Hamburgers got nutritional value. Snickers has nutritional value. Soda is the one thing that has absolutely, positively no nutritional value. I can't even think of anything else that has no nutritional value. Now, when I say that Twinkie has nutritional value, yes, it has nutritional value. Best believe there is much more negative than there is positive, but there is a drop of nutritional value to a Twinkie. There is a drop of nutritional value to corn chips. You understand what I'm saying? Coke has absolutely nothing. It is bad from A to Z, from the beginning to the ending. It's bad for you. There is nothing of nutritional value in a Coke. Nothing. Nothing. If you're drinking a sweet tea, okay, it might be some green tea. There might be a little bit, very, very small amount of nutritional value. But when it comes to Coke, nothing. You know, absolutely nothing. And I want us to also discuss the documentary Weight of the Nation. If you have not seen it, you should see it. If you're overweight, you should definitely see it. If you're obese, you should see it. If you're morbidly obese, you should see it. If you have kids, you should see it. If you never plan on having kids, you should see it. Point blank, you should see it. Because even if you are not obese, even if you don't have kids, even if weight is not an issue in your world or in your mind or even in your entire family, let's say everybody in your family is fit and healthy, okay? Fit and healthy. Weight of the Nation still affects you. In this documentary, they are talking about the weight of the nation. We as a nation is dying. We as a nation is becoming weaker and weaker and weaker due to obesity. Why? Because of the level of obesity, there is less people qualifying to be a police officer. There's less people qualifying to be a fireman. There is less people qualifying to be in the armed forces, the Army, the Navy, any type of military service, which put us as a nation at risk. At risk. With the rise of obesity, the weaker the nation becomes. Think about it. The rise of obesity, the weaker the nation becomes. So even if everyone in your family is physically fit and in great physical condition, you are still at risk, because this is the nation that you live in. And it's killing us. It is killing us. America is dying right now in two ways. One, with the financial crisis that we are in, and especially considering that it is a financial crisis that we put ourselves in. It is a financial crisis. I'm not going to say that we put ourselves in as in the 99, but I'm going to say that we put ourselves in as in the 1%, putting the rest of the 99 in a financial crisis. There is a movie that is called Too Big to Fail. Once again, on HBO. If you watch this movie, it explains exactly how the economy ended up the way that it is. And what is so surprising is that the few people, when I say few, I mean less than 30, the few people that screwed this nation and put us in the predicament that we is, got a bonus for screwing this nation. If you don't understand what I'm saying, watch the movie. It lays it out in layman terms. I'm talking about they put it all out. And once again, it's called Too Big to Fail, and it's on HBO. But yeah, okay, so back to the movie. back to the documentary Weight of the Nation. So this is a 4-part documentary. Okay, the first part is about how obesity is affecting the nation. The second part is about how obesity is affecting the individual, like myself, like medically, what is going on in my body. That's what it discusses medically. I think the third part is about what they can do to change the situation, you know, how they can start with kids to change the situation. And the fourth part is about kids, obesity and kids, and the connection between things like your child having a television in their room. That leads to obesity, whether you know it or not. Because at 10 o'clock, when you tell your child to go to sleep, it's a very good chance that they in there sneaking, watching television till 12. So now this child ain't got all the rest that they need. So now hormones in their body, they're more inclined to gain weight. Different things, television, video games, the education system, financial again, all of that. So the fourth part is all of that is about kids. Something that I learned in this, watching the documentary, which, I mean, I learned many things. A lot of things I didn't know because I did a lot of research on weight, but I learned many things. But the one thing that was most shocking, most surprising, was that obesity permanently changes your body. Permanently. Physically, permanently changes your body. And I don't mean stretch marks or saggy arms. I don't mean that. I mean medically, inside. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say Lady A weighs 130 pounds, right? Lady A, she's going to be the first person. Lady A, I'm not even going to say A, let's say Lisa. Lisa weighs 130 pounds, right? So Lisa gets pregnant, she has a baby. During her pregnancy, she goes up to 200 pounds. She gained a full 70 pounds in her pregnancy, which, even though it sounds like a lot, is not regular. So let's make this part 2.